Good morning. This is bed talk number 11 for me. Instead of being on the stage delivering a TED talk, I'm in bed, inspired and instigated by my friend and fellow speaker Dave Rendall. The whole idea is to share a message first thing in the morning from bed to maybe inspire, maybe to shift our thinking a little bit during this unique time called the coronavirus pandemic. And I think really a message that applies to all times. I got a new shirt on today. Dave inspired me. I was talking to him the other day and he realized that he was pulling t-shirts out from the bottom of the drawer. And I said, I'm going to do that too. What a tiny little thing, but really fun. Pulling out the shirts that I don't wear that often. Been doing that most days, and so you're going to see a new shirt every day. This is nice and vibrant on this sunny Thursday morning here in Tampa. So what I want to talk to you about today is, I call this bed talk, Get in a Line. Get in a line meant, as in A-L-I-G-N, alignment. Because what I'm realizing is it's easy in our lives to be out of alignment. The simplest way to look at that is I say one thing but do another. I don't walk my talk. We all have that challenge, and I think right now it's particularly prevalent because we're dealing with these unusual circumstances of the coronavirus. So it's easy to do what we think needs to happen and yet get away from what we say we believe. So let me give you a couple of examples. Most of us, or many of us, would say that we want to be caring and compassionate for others. But when we're in this kind of crisis situation, it's easy to turn inward and focus on ourselves and those closest to us. So yes, we want to make sure we're safe and our family is safe, but it's easy to get caught up in this thinking and lose the us thinking. So what would it look like to be caring and compassionate to others right now, even when you might be preoccupied with yourself and your own situation? For example, many of us are struggling with financially. We've had our business, I took a big hit in my business, or your employment is at risk, or you've already been laid off. All sorts of realities. It's easy to go inside. But what I have found is I feel the best these days, and most days, when I'm doing something of service. Now, I've been able to do these bed talks, which is to me a way of service, to share a message, and I get emails back all day saying, wow, I really needed that message. It was perfectly timed. I did some free webinars last week with my business partner and friend, Craig Matthews. I've been doing a lot of giveaways in my business. Sure, I'd love to get paid, but being of service right now really fills me up, and it also keeps me in alignment. So I stay aligned. Another way it's really tricky to look at is around money. Right now, especially if you're having a financial impact in your business or your employment, you go to, I've got to cut all my expenses. That makes some sense, and I'm not suggesting you not do it, but think about the impact of that. Think about the people you might decide to stop paying, and therefore you create more of the financial impact that you're trying to minimize for yourself. So I have continued to pay people. I've continued to pay people that work for me, despite the big drop in business. Financially, it doesn't make sense, but in terms of doing the right thing, it makes perfect sense. I've continued to pay people who provide services to me. Now, there may come a time I make a different decision, but right now, I'm choosing to feed the economy. Last night I went out to dinner, spent money on takeout. I didn't get the dining experience, although I actually did, because I was able to drive down by the water and eat my dinner looking at the water. How cool is that? So it'd been easier for me to stay home and eat the food I have here, which would also save money, but then that would have an impact on that restaurant that didn't get my money. And right now restaurants are struggling. So what does it mean for you to stay in line with what you believe and who you are and who you want to be? Just pay attention so you don't get caught up in the coronavirus crisis and lose who you are. and fall out of alignment. So that's my message for the day. Get in a line and stay there. And stay well and stay safe. See you tomorrow.